master the sermon logos, then, thrice greatest Hermes, and bear in mind the spoken words. And as it hath come unto me to speak, I will no more delay. As many men say many things, and these diverse, about the all and good, I have not learned the truth. Make it, then, clear to me, O Master mine. For I can trust the explanation of these things, which comes from thee alone. Hear then, my son, how standeth God and all. God. Aeon. Cosmos. Time. Becoming. God maketh Aeon. Aeon, Cosmos. Cosmos, time. And time, becoming or Genesis. The good, the beautiful, wisdom, blessedness, is the essence, as it were, of God. Of Aeon, the essence is saneness. Of Cosmos, order. Of time, change. And of becoming, life and death. The energies of God are mind and soul. Of Aeon, lastingness and deathlessness. Of Cosmos, restoration and the opposite thereof. Of time, increase and decrease. And of becoming, quality. Aeon is, then, in God. Cosmos, in Aeon. In Cosmos. Time. In time, becoming. Aeon stands firm round God. Cosmos is moved in Aeon. Time hath its limits or is accomplished in the Cosmos. Becoming doth become in time. The source, therefore, of all is God. Their essence, Aeon. Their matter, Cosmos. God's power is Aeon. Aeon's work is Cosmos, which never hath become, yet ever doth become by Aeon. Therefore will Cosmos never be destroyed, for Aeon's indestructible. Nor doth a whit of things in Cosmos perish, for Cosmos is wrapped by Aeon around on every side. Hermes, but God's wisdom, what is that? The good and beautiful, and blessedness, and virtues all, and Aeon. Aeon, then, orders Cosmos, imparting deathlessness and lastingness to matter. For its beginning doth depend on Aeon, as Aeon doth on God. Now Genesis or becoming and time, in heaven and upon the earth, are of two natures. In heaven they are unchangeable and indestructible, but on the earth are subject unto change and to destruction. Further, the Aeon soul is God. The Cosmos soul is Aeon. The earth soul, heaven. And God is in mind. And mind, in soul. And soul, in matter. And all of them through Aeon. But all this body, in which are all the bodies, is full of soul. And soul is full of mind, and mind of God. It, the body of the Cosmos from within, and from without encircles it, making the all alive. Without, this vast and perfect life encircles Cosmos. Within, it fills it with all lives. Above, in heaven, continuing in saneness. Below, on earth, changing becoming. And Aeon does preserve this Cosmos, or by necessity, or by foreknowledge, or by nature, or by whatever else a man supposes or shall suppose. And all is this, God energizing. The energy of God is power that naught can e'er surpass, a power with which no one can make comparison of any human thing at all, or anything divine. Wherefore, O Hermes, never think that aught of things above or things below is like to God, for thou wilt fall from truth. For naught is like to that which hath no like, and is alone and one. And do not ever think that any other can possibly possess his power. For what apart from him is there of life, and deathlessness and change of quality? For what else should he make? God's not inactive, since all things then would lack activity. For all are full of God. But neither in the Cosmos anywhere, nor in aught else, is there inaction. For that inaction is a name that cannot be applied to either what doth make or what is made. But all things must be made. Both ever made, and also in accordance with the influence of every space. For he who makes, is in them all. Not established in some one of them, nor making one thing only, but making all. For being power, he energizeth in the things he makes and is not independent of them, although the things he makes are subject to him. Now gaze through me upon the Cosmos that's now subject to thy sight. Regard its beauty carefully, body in pure perfection, the one than which there's no more ancient one, ever in prime of life, and ever young, nay, rather, in even fuller and yet fuller prime. Behold, again, the 7 subject worlds. Ordered by Aeon's order, and with their varied course fulfilling in. See how all things are full of light, and nowhere is there fire. For 'tis the love and the blending of the contraries and the dissimilars that doth give birth to light downshining by the energy of God, the Father of all good, the leader of all order, and ruler of the seven world orderings. Behold the moon, forerunner of them all, the instrument of nature, and the transmuter of its lower matter. Look at the earth set in the midst of all, foundation of the cosmos beautiful, feeder and nurse of things on earth. And contemplate the multitude of deathless lives, how great it is, and that of lives subject to death. And midway, between both, immortal lives and mortal, see thou the circling moon. And all are full of soul, and all are moved by it, each in its proper way. Some round the heaven, others around the earth. See how the right move not unto the left, nor yet the left unto the right. Nor the above below, nor the below above. And that all there are subject unto Genesis, my dearest Hermes, thou hast no longer need to learn of me. For that they bodies are, have souls, and they are moved. But 'tis impossible for them to come together into one without someone to bring them all together. It must, then, be that such a one as this must be someone who's wholly one. For as the many motions of them all are different, and as their bodies are not like, yet has one speed been ordered for them all, it is impossible that there should be two or more makers for them. For that one single order is not kept among the many. But rivalry will follow of the weaker with the stronger, and they will strive. And if the maker of the lives that suffer change in death, should be another from the maker of the immortals, he would desire to make the deathless ones as well. Just as the maker of the deathless ones, to make the lives that suffer death. But come. If there be two, if matter's one, and soul is one, in whose hands would there be the distribution for the making? Again, if both of them have some of it, in whose hands may be the greater part. But thus conceive it, then, that every living body doth consist of soul and matter, whether that body be of an immortal, or an irrational life. For that all living bodies are ensouled. Whereas, upon the other hand, those that live not, are matter by itself. And, in like fashion, soul when in itself is, after its own maker, cause of life. But the cause of all life is he who makes the things that cannot die. How, then, is it that, first, lives subject to death are other than the deathless ones? And, next, how is it that life which knows no death, and maketh deathlessness, doth not make animals immortal? First, that there is someone who does these things, is clear. And, next, that he is also one, is very manifest. For, also, soul is one, and life is one, and matter one. But who is he? Who may it other be than the one God? Whom else should it be seen to put soul into lies but God alone? One, then, is God. It would indeed be most ridiculous, if when thou dost confess the cosmos to be one, sun one, moon one, and Godhead one, thou shouldst wish God himself to be someone or other of a number. All things, therefore, he makes, in many ways. And what great thing is it for God to make life, soul, and deathlessness, and change, when thou thyself dost do so many things? For thou dost see, and speak, and hear, and smell, and taste, and touch, and walk, and think, and breathe. And it is not one man who smells, another one who walks, another one who thinks, and yet another one who breathes. But one is he who doth all these. And yet no one of these could be apart from God. For just as, should thou cease from these, thou wouldst no longer be a living thing, so also, should God cease from them a thing not law to say, no longer is he God. For if it hath been shown that no thing can inactive be, how much less God? For if there's aught he doth not make, if it be law to say, he is imperfect. But if he is not only not inactive, but perfect God, then he doth make all things.